Imagine having so much aura that when you're executed, your final actions become a sunnah. Now, pop quiz before I tell you the story. Is it true that whenever you send salam and salawat on the Prophet ﷺ, that he hears it and responds? And the answer is yes. Whenever you send salam and salawat on the Prophet ﷺ, an angel delivers it to him and he replies to you. Khubayb RA was a Sahabi from the Ansar who took part in the Battle of Badr, and he fought like a lion, notably taking out a man called Al-Harith. Now skip forward to after the Battle of Uhud, and two men come to the Prophet ﷺ saying that they recently embraced Islam and they'd like the Prophet to send people with them to teach the people Islam. But here's the problem. Those two men, they lied. They weren't there to embrace Islam. In fact, they were from the Banu Lahyan and they wanted revenge for their fallen. And the moment the Muslims arrive and lay camp at a place called Ar-Raji, that's when the attack begins. Swords fly, spears are thrown, arrows whistle through the air. The only survivors are three men: Zayd ibn al-Dathina, Abdullah ibn Tariq and Khubayb ibn Adi, and they're promptly sent to Mecca to be slaves. Now all three men were sold extremely quickly, but Khubayb radiallahu anh especially. He was taken by a young man with a darkness in his eye. So when Khubayb radiallahu anh would ask who he is, the boy said, "My name is Uqba ibn al-Harith. You killed my father at the Battle of Badr." He brought him to execute him. But the time for the sacred months had arrived, and it was completely banned to kill someone during that time. Now I'm not gonna lie, while they hold him prisoner for those few months, Khubayb radiallahu anh just starts aura farming. At one point they find luxury items like grapes in his holding cell. When they ask him who gave him the grapes, he simply says, "Don't you know? Allah provides for whom He wills." Now on the day of his execution, they drag him in the blistering heat of Mecca to the edge of the city, beating and battering him the whole way. And when he arrives, he only has one request. He says, "Let me pray 2 units of salah." When he finishes his salah, he sighs and he says, "I would have spent longer in my salah if I wasn't afraid that you'd say that I was being a coward and using it to delay my death." So they hung him up on the trunk of a tree, lacerating and stabbing at his body until wounds littered every inch of his body. And one of them had the gall to look up and ask him, "Wouldn't you prefer that Muhammad was here and you were safe with your family?" Khubayb looked down at the man and said, "I would rather be here than see even a thorn prick the foot of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." And with his final breath, Khubayb radiallahu anh looks up and says, "Ya Allah, deliver my salam to your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam." And miles away in Medina, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam suddenly shivered and said, "Wa alayka salam, ya Khubayb."